Hello everyone, I'm your host, Puppy Palace, but you can call me Cass. Welcome to a deep dive into late 90s and early 2000s gaming nostalgia! Woo! Thank you so much for coming. Like, honestly, I was not expecting this outcome. This was just a random 3 a.m. idea. And look, like, we have so many people here. Thank you all so much. It means a lot to all of us. What I want to start off with is, I'm Cassidy. I'm Puppy Palace, and pretty much I'm hosting this panel. I'm a Slavic Australian cosplayer. I've been living in Melbourne most of my life. I'm a self-taught seamstress. I'm cosplaying Ashland Praxis today from Jack X Combat Racing 2005. That pretty much gives you all the information of me. I was born 2002, so I'm a Y2K kid. And I'm all about nostalgia. That's me cosplaying Jack, taken by VQL Films, one of my cosplay photographers. Please give a shout out to Vinny, he's amazing. Wherever you are in the crowd, I can't see you. Give it up for Vinny, please! Woo! Thank you all so much. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with 4 other amazing panelists, and I honestly couldn't have done it without them. We have Square Eye Jack, which was a last minute arrangement, but he's here, and give it up for Jack. Woo!
Hello everyone, I'm Square Eye Jack. I am a YouTuber. I cover lots of retro games mostly, especially PS2, PS1 era stuff, as well as skateboarding and extreme sports video games, which next week on the channel, Tony Hawktober, it's a big week-long special of content, so make sure you check that out.
Next we have Momo Khalid.
You can call me Momo Colour, you can follow me on Instagram, shameless plug. Why am I here? I am here because I was born in 1996, therefore am half Gen Z, half millennial. I am one of those half-baked kids, yeah. Any 96s here? That's not many, but you know. So I grew up around a range of consoles. My parents are traveling musicians, therefore they would shove me in front of a console and go on tour. So I grew up with pretty much every early 2000s, late 90s console that exists. I also used to watch my dad play a lot of PC games. He was a big fan of Quake Arena. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and I'm very excited to talk about games with you today. Yeah.
People often say bridal and Brie like the cheese. I am from Queensland, and as anyone who's come out of state for this, it's actually my first time out of Queensland and in Melbourne, so it's really exciting for me. Another 2000s kid, grew up like a lot of PlayStation, Nintendo especially. I'm Kirby today, if you cannot tell. I love anything, everything creative, colourful, pastel, obviously. Though I do like my horror, darker stuff too, so especially like your Metal Gear Solid, some of your darker horror things. But yeah, I'm just excited to talk about stuff and just the wonderful world of the nostalgia and Y2K gaming.
Woo! We have Leon Riceberg.
I'm Riceberg, and yeah, I'm also a Y2K kid, 97. So, any other 97s out there? Yeah, I'm a casual cosplayer, designer, and a teacher, like based here in Melbourne as well. And I really like to enjoy employing the characters that I like to cosplay. And you can tell from Genshin Impact, I'm a big Genshin fan. I basically have gaming ever since I was younger. I had a lot of pass-me-down consoles being the youngest of a whole bunch of family members. So I started with an N64 all the way up to the Switch, and I've owned a Nintendo console ever since.
Before we start this panel, I would like to go over some rules. So if you're photography. It's quite distracting. When I'm looking for an interactive panel, so I will come up to one of you for a question or two. And please don't get personal with us, just keep the question simple. We're here to talk about our childhoods and everything, Y2K, 90s, 2000s. Just have lots of fun with us. I want to include everyone as much as possible. And I hope that we can just, chill and have some fun all together. So thank you, everyone. Let's get started. Woo!
Kicking us off, we've got a few game boot-up sounds.
Oh, very good. Yes. So, what we're doing is we're going to play a track that we've put together of a various collection of boot-up sounds. Now, I know that when you hear these boot-up sounds, a lot of people in this room will feel a type of way. So, we're gonna play each boot-up sound. We're gonna pause. And we're just gonna really think about how that boot up sound made us feel. And we'll get Cass to go around the room and maybe share some opinions. This is a brainstorming session, people. All right, let's kick it off.
I think you all know what that was, so all together, can we please shout it out?
Yeah.
What is it?
PlayStation.
Thank God.
That's personally my most memorable boot up sound. It definitely still sends shivers down my spine to hear it. Does it make anyone else feel that way? Yeah. Just send shivers down your spine. Oh, we should answer that.
Tell them you're busy with puffy powers, please.
Oh my. So yeah, how does that make everyone else feel?
I don't know, to be honest, because any sort of booting up sounds, I grew up with games, having game consoles at age 3. I was a baby, and hearing this scared me. And I think if you grew up with the PlayStation or any sort of console that had a scary boot up sound,
Ominous.
yeah, you were scared, and don't lie, admit it.
I don't know about that. I always found the PlayStation 1 intro to be more like a whimsical and just this joyous thing, especially when the wind chime kicks in the middle there, that twinkly sound. I don't get these people who say that it's a spooky sort of intro. I can get that for PS2 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get into that.
Yeah. So no, I don't get that.
Yeah. Anyone else here have an opinion?
I know PS2 more than PS1. We didn't have a PS1 growing up, but it wasn't as, I don't know, that just didn't stick with me as much.
No, of course. We might leave audience things for the end, but we might move on to our next sound.
There it is.
Go.
There it is. It's all coming back.
I know you all know it, so please, what is it?
PlayStation 2.
Thank you.
I don't get why this scared people either.
This one scared me the most.
I mean, that one's more scary, especially when it comes up all red because something's broken.
For me, it's just that red, sitting there going, is the game gonna load? And then it would come up that, the disc didn't read. Oh, darn it!
There's that air of menace when you see all those cubes coming out of nowhere. You know it represents a data.
It's honestly not as scary for me because, what hits the fear in terms of, a boot up, or is it county? It's the old THX movie intro where it goes, wah, and you're just going, please, no.
My sensory issues.
Yeah.
Alright, we're playing the next sound. Oh, that's a continuation.
Who knows what that one is?
No, that's cheating. We can't have this one.
It's too recent.
2006?
Does that mean it's retro? Am I old?
You know what it is? Please let us know.
PlayStation 3.
Thank
You
you.
made this too easy. We should have jumbled them up a bit more.
Now, who knows what this one is?
PSP.
Thank you. That's like my favorite startup sound. You're the best.
Not quite Y2K, but still. So
Yes.
Definitely.
PSP 2000 and, I guess, 2005.
I feel
They were
old.
still doing that stuff on the PS2. They were.
Yeah, 2005.
What was the Y2K gaming era without handheld consoles? It
True.
wouldn't be the same without it.
You know what that is? Please let me know.
PSP.
PSP again. There we go.
Wow, I wonder what that person likes.
Personally, you might not believe this, but I wasn't an Xbox kid.
Ironically.
But I mean, everyone knows what that sound is.
That Xbox sound was really, that's what freaked me out because I grew up with entirely PlayStation stuff, and so my cousins had Xbox, and the first time I went around their house and saw that, I was probably, I don't know, 6 or something, and it was just, what is this? The ominous green like fills up the room at night and everything, terrifying. I love it now, though. It's definitely one of my favorites now.
It is a bit spooky, isn't it?
Also, yeah.
We love the enthusiasm. We love it.
That's what we need for this panel. Oh my god.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
If you know what it is, let me know.
Hey, I don't know what. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh,
Instantly, so many different names have filled people's head. Yeah.
I can't hear the normal version of that now. My brain was like, shouldn't it be longer because it's like doing more of the memes? I'm like, oh, is that it? No, it should be like, I personally have longer.
I have a bit of a story with that Bootup. When I was in primary school, I had a PS2, and one of my best friends had a GameCube. I don't know if she's in here. Suzu cosplay. Yeah. So we used to be primary school friends, and we used to trade our consoles. She'd in a big plastic bag. At school, we'd do a trade.
The safest
PS2
way.
for GameCube, and we'd switch it for a week. And so that was my introduction to GameCube, and I was like 8 or so. Yeah. I missed out. I missed out on GameCube as a kid.
Same, I fully missed out. Did not really grow up around Nintendo stuff at all.
Neither, no. It's become one of my favorite consoles, though, for sure.
Nintendo forever!
Just kidding, you're allowed to do it. All right, we're gonna start off with the questions with our panelists. So, oh, you have a question?
Didn't we miss a really important startup sound?
No. No, I don't think so. Very funny. All right. Share. English is my third language. Give me a second. Oh, share a nostalgic memory.
What a terrible font.
I'm sorry, you don't like word on. Classic of the
Share a nostalgic memory. I'd like to start first. So, I've been playing games longer than I remember, and one of my favorite memories is when my mom used to work for an airline company. I'm not going to name which one because you'll love her in. She used to do Lost and Found, and she found a PlayStation Portable for me, specifically for me, and I would have been 3 or 4 at the time, and I remember getting that and playing Daxter PSP for the first time, and now look where I am. Thanks, Mum.
evolution.
Woohoo!
Evolution, yeah. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, so I guess my biggest memory is when you're really young and your parents are working a lot, I get dropped off at like a holiday care, and then my fondest memory is about a bunch of us kids saw me on the Nintendo 64 back then, and it would been taking turns winner stays on for Smash, the original, and also Mario Kart 64.
For me, it's definitely got to be Crash Bandicoot related.
Woohoo!
That's what I like to hear. Going through Crash 2 for the first time with my older cousins and seeing them get further through the game than me, and I didn't know how to do it, which was a bit sad. But then finally figuring out how to do it, and then just the applause that they gave me when I finally figured it out. And then from there, moving into Crash Team Racing, again against the cousins, yeah. And you know, they beat my ass at it, but now they don't know how to play, and I can still beat their ass at it. So.
For me, it was one day walking into my older cousin's house. I think I was about 7 years old, and he had this gaming den out the back, and I walked downstairs into the den, and he was playing Kingdom Hearts. So it was about 2003, and I was like, yeah. I wasn't like that. I just saw a cosplay right there. I have to, you know, it's the call. I went, what is that game? And how do I make my entire life about it right now? And it has become my favorite gaming franchise of all time. I love Kingdom Hearts. Yes.
I'm going to try like short bits of a mix because my brain just is flooded with so many different things. I grew up like in a household where like PS1, PS2. Me and my younger brother a lot would always like be playing through like Spyro, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank like all the time, on and off playing non-stop. What I particularly remember, this is probably what like shouldn't have happened, but my dad playing the first God of War on PS2, and my younger brother and I were probably like 7 and 5 just watching him because we shouldn't be playing that game, but you know, it doesn't count if he's playing it. Probably tells a lot about me now. But especially like going to Civic Video or Blockbuster and renting out different games and seeing how quickly, like how much you can play through before you have to return it, and just like trying to blast through a game because you only have a week or so to play it. It's just such a fond memory. I miss those physicality of games. Oh.
Next question is, share a game people might not know of. I'm going to start. You can all scream at me for it. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. If you're not a Spyro fan, that's why my name is Coffee Pals. It's one of the levels in the game. I kind of based my whole life around it. I don't know why that was the decision, but it is. If you know it, please let me know. Yeah! You know it. I should have chosen something else, but who wants to go next? You want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Before the lackluster remake, I would have said The World Ends With You for Nintendo DS.
Yeah. Sorry.
And honestly, that storyline, the artwork, the gameplay, honestly, like really hooked me from the start of it, and really made the use of all the Nintendo DS's features. And then that's something you didn't really see with the Switch remake, which was kind of sad to see.
It's a pink DS game.
One genre that always is in the conversation for PlayStation 1 is 2.5D, like Klonoa and Tomba, all those sorts of games. But there's one that not many people know about that's really good. It's called Spider, the video game, and you just play as a spider. But he's like a scientifically enhanced spider who can pick up weapons. And he's being controlled by the brain of his master who has been kidnapped or some crazy shit like that. It's really good. Like it's hard as anything, but it's definitely a fun game.
Does it have like spooky FMV cutscenes?
Yes, it does
Oh,
have spooky
goodness.
FMV cutscenes. They are very crusty cutscenes.
Very shiny. For me, it's a game from 1998. It was very popular in Japan, but had a brief release in Australia. It's called Buster Groove. Yeah. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're after. Because there's always one person that when we find out that we know about the game mutually, you freak out because it's just like not a game that people talk about anymore, and it deserves a remake. Anyway. Crunch. So it is a game from 1998. It is a dance game. It's one of the first games to use mocap, and it's a dancing game. It's just so unashamedly 90s. It's just like the outfits, the music, everything is so 90s. It's kind of like if Parappa the Rapper was a superhero anime. I don't even know how to describe it. Just look it up. Buster Groove. Yeah, look it up. It's amazing. I used to play the ever-living crap out of it as a kid.
Hearing Spider reminded me of Glover. If anyone knows about Glover.
No.
I never played it myself, but like watching other people play it and learning so much about it. It's a, like with many classic 2000s game, platformer, except this one barely worked. The physics, the whole thing, you're like a little glove and he's just kind of like walking around. It just great. Look it up, it's really weird and like so encapsulating. But probably my one personally would be, it was like a Sonic collection and it was Sonic Fighters. See, it was like one of those bundle games where it was like, oh, we're gonna put some of the old games with some new ones, and it was just like you were in a boxing ring for the entire time. You could play through all the different Sonic roster, and it was sort of fun, but sort of not. And I had to, through that game is how I have a soft spot for so many of like your side characters that are like, especially like Vector. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Oh my god. Espio, oh my god, like it's such a, like even though it's Sonic, it's one that people don't really know about. It'd be like a cool collection, but no, it's really fun.
Thank you. Can I share a second game? Is it okay?
Yeah, sure. You want to do a second game?
Can I do that every?
Yeah.
Thank you for the validation. So I just had a little memory pop into my head of when I had a PS2 and when I was a kid, and I remember begging my parents for a copy of Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah.
I don't know where this story is going. So I begged them. I wanted this Simpsons game. I wanted Hit and Run. I'd fill their head with it all the time. Get me Simpsons Hit and Run. And you know what they got me? Simpsons Skateboarding.
That's the same energy as, no, we have it at home.
It is the strangest game I have ever played, and just watching the characters just ragdoll off the skateboards after your millionth failed trick. It's like, we have Tony Hawk at home.
I thought you were going to mention Simpsons Road Rage.
I also got Simpsons. No, I asked for it again, and they got me Simpsons Road Rage. I never actually got a copy of Hit and Run. I never actually got to play Hit and Run. Oh, I have now, don't worry.
Okay, we're going to be moving on to the next question, and this question will be for the audience as well, so I will choose one person and you get to share. You're just going to raise your hand when we finish. So, what is your favorite game OST and why? I will go first. So, something that really hits for me is Spyro A Hero's Tale. I'm going to mention a lot of Spyro games because I just love that. Thank you, oh my god. It's just something that, like, if you listen to it, it just like brings you back. You know, it's got that 2000 style, the chimes, the samples. Like, it's just one of those things. It's not the typical Spyro music. You know, not a lot of people like the music that was used in A Hero's Tale, but it means a lot to me because I would just listen to it on repeat. I remember being in primary school doing a dance to one of the Spyro A Hero's Tale soundtracks, and it was embarrassing. But when you look back on those memories, you're like, go me.
Oh, my choice would be a bit more niche, but Dragon Ball Z Super Sonic Warriors 2. Yeah, I can do that. But that really set the mood for a lot of the boss battles down later on in the game, and especially I still listen to a couple of them just at the gym because it really helps set that mood and bring me back into that headspace.
Oh, me, okay. Okay. I have two, I'm sorry. No, so everyone should really go listen to the Buster Groove soundtrack. It's really good. I'm serious, it's really good. But my favorite is the soundtrack for Spyro 2. Gateway to Glamour or Ripto's Rage, depending on what region you played. Probably Australia, to be honest. So the Spyro original trilogy soundtrack was written by Stuart Copeland, who was the drummer for the band The Police.
Yeah!
So yes, well done, thank you. So he like really put a lot of effort into writing those soundtracks, but I particularly like the second game because he would play through each level and he would get a real feel for it before writing the music for it. And so when you play through these levels, like how funky is it? So funky, super funky. Yeah, Spyro 2 soundtrack.
There's a soundtrack that I've discovered recently within the last year. So I don't have that really long-term nostalgia for it, but hearing it just really puts me in a good spot, and that's Klonoa Door to Phantom Hill.
Yeah.
That's an excellent soundtrack. I could just sit here and gush about it all day, but I shouldn't do it.
One that technically doesn't count because it's from a movie, but playing the Lego Star Wars games on PS2. My brother and I would just spend for ages just like in the cantina, so technically it doesn't count, but it's still from a game, and that's what I associated with the most. But I'm trying to decide between Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Diamond and Pearl / Platinum, because they're just such a classic, especially when you get to different battle themes, all the different locations, like
Route 209?
yeah. There's too many that I think of that my brain can't like decipher of, like it's overflooded with everything. Just all of that in general. Everyone's played Pokemon, or at least knows Pokemon music, so they know how much that hits. Yeah. Oh, there's too many.
Does anybody want to share their favorite video game OSTs? Okay, we'll go for a run around now. Get some exercise. Okay, I'm gonna pick you because you're closest. What do you want to share first?
So my favourite one is Persona 4.
That's good. Okay, I'll get one more. Pick you up the front, so amazing.
Jet Set Radio.
Oh my God! Yes! Hell yeah! How many Sega fans do we have today? Oh man!
I'm
Hell
a
yeah.
Nintendo, but I think I'm a Sega fan.
Okay, next question.
For that, speaking of soundtracks, we have another segment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to be guessing the soundtrack, so if you know it, you got to raise your hand and I'll run to you.
Each of us has picked one.
Or just call it out. I think we can hear you from here.
Bonus points if you can guess which one.
Really let us speak some steps possible.
This incites fear in my brain.
Okay. Are you for real, my guy? I cannot believe that just came out your mouth. Anyone actually know it? You.
Is it from Jak 3?
Yes, but what is it?
That's the level where Dexter has to jack himself in and
Yes.
Pac-Man.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes, there we go. Good Jack Peters, my boy. Then number 2, soundtrack number 2.
Luigi's Mansion.
No. Close. It is
was a tough one.
It was a very tough one.
We've got soundtrack number 4. What is it? I just don't know what it is. Does anyone know what it is? What actually is it?
I very nearly, for my, I've been a chemical library, I very nearly did Snake Eater for 3. Because that's just a banger song. But yeah.
Okay, we're going on to another question that I will also ask the audience at the end. So, what is a game series you want back alive again and why? I think we all know Jack and Daxter, baby. Please, let's go! Oh my god!
Everyone else has had a remake and a revival instead.
Where's my boy Jack? Where is he? There's a number of reasons why I want this. These games are aged beautifully, but could you imagine with the hardware that we have, what Jack would look? Oh my god! It would just be it would be so good. Oh my god! The music getting remastered and everything, the cutscenes, all that. Who's played Jack? I just want to know who's played Jack. See? Oh, there we go. Oh my god! All the good people play Jack. Everyone with good taste plays Jack. Come on. Who wants to go next?
I want Spyro. I want more Spyro, please.
More Spyro?
Yeah. Not just Reignited Trilogy, although that was very awesome and cool that they did that. I just want more platformer Spyro back.
Spyro Into the Dragon.
What's that do?
For me, I'm very disappointed that we did not get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remastered, which got cancelled in the last year or so. Because
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. It's very sad, very disappointed about that, because playing the previous remake was such a it was such a return to that sort of time that we all love, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed that one, myself included. So yeah, bring back more skateboard games.
This might be a bit of a niche one, but another one from Game Boy, Mega Man Battle Network series.
Yes!
I kind of ended up going to Star Force and then just never feeling the same, but I really missed that original gameplay, and also go back to it.
I mean, good Mario Party. The recent ones just took away so much of the stakes and more of the challenge and skill of it. Just do it justice. Still have that RNG, but give us that, I don't know, challenge and just the more fleshed out boards. I miss those more. Probably Space Channel 5.
Yes.
There was a recent sort of VR edition, but I just want a full new one. It was anniversary recently. With the anniversary of Space Channel 5, I was so pumped for the possibility, and there was really not much. It's similar vein with Buster Groove as well and Jet Set Radio.
That needs a remake.
Yeah. Oh, would love it.
What about the remake of Pac-Man World that's coming out soon?
Oh my god, yeah!
No one played Pac-Man World? Come on, they're remaking it. Yeah, it's coming out this month.
It's already out!
Oh, it's already out. Sorry. I have been traveling overseas a lot the past couple of months. I've been kind of living under a rock. Okay, well I'm gonna go home and play it because I was looking forward to that.
Is there anybody in the crowd that wants to share? Okay, I'm actually not going to be lazy this time. Walk.
Yeah.
You, next to the microphone. Hello.
Turok.
Oh, yeah. Is there anybody else that wants to share? Let's go for you.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give these people some love.
Yeah, let's go over here. You, in the corner. Hello.
It's a bit of a niche series, but Xenosaga. I know we have Xenoblade these days, but I actually really enjoyed the Xenosaga trilogy that they did before, and I wish they would actually make the games available in PAL regions and not just NTSC.
One more person. Okay. Personally, I'm going to pick you.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline.
That is a good game.
There are newer ones, but it's still not the same. It's like close, but just a tiny bit more tweak. One day, you can only hope.
I think that is the thing though with nostalgia. It's very hard to scratch that itch, that nostalgic itch. It's like it's never the same.
I mean, there's emulators, but like
On
sometimes you
that
still
point-
just want to play it.
On that point, I've got another one that could go for being remade, but for all the wrong reasons. I'd love to see Gex.
Yes!
Just to see how cringy and awful the dialogue would be.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what I remember. Gex used to be funny, and then I can say no, he wasn't ever funny.
That is the thing with going back to classic series. You'll be like, wow, this thing was so cool, and you go back and you're like, oh my god, this thing was so stupid, but you still just love it so much. Like that kid brain.
remake.
I got one more and it's Croc.
Yes, Croc! We like our animal mascots.
Our next question, what is your favorite gaming console and why? My favorite gaming console is PlayStation 2, obviously for the Jack and Daxter series, which means so much to me. And it's really hard to talk about nostalgia because I always get teary about it. I'm like, oh, I miss my childhood. I want to go back to it. I miss having the times where you were a kid and you got to play through that. And the PlayStation 2 raised me pretty much. I had that at a very, very young age. And I feel like that was when I first gained consciousness as a human being. I have a PlayStation, that's pretty cool.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. So that raised me, and that has a special place in my heart, and so does the Jack games that I got along with it. So yeah.
For me, it would be the Game Boy Advance SP specifically because it was the first handheld console I got. I started with Pokemon Sapphire, and it was the first game I could play under the sheets without my mum telling me off.
Backlight!
Well, similar vein, I was going to say DS. Especially when I'm trying to play Mario 64 DS and you close your lid and you go bye-bye and you're like, sorry, shush Mario, quick! I'm trying to not to sleep! I'm going to get in trouble if mum knows I'm playing my DS! Just so many games on that. And bringing it to school. And after school camp, playing with your friends and do that local play. Oh.
Yeah, the DS download play.
The browse band was very, very fast.
It definitely, DS definitely helped me hide from bullies behind the school.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's all good. I had a good time. Lots of Mario Party DS. But for me, it was definitely PS1. Once again, first proper console that I was actually able to comprehend things around me for. Apparently in my house we had an N64 before, but I don't remember owning it. So for me, it was definitely the PS1. And instead of buying games for me, my parents would go to Blockbuster, hire a stack of games, go, which ones did you like? And then they burn them onto a CD.
Don't tell anyone! Get in trouble.
Just to say, going over the same stuff, because for me, I grew up as a PlayStation kid, but definitely there's a special memory associated with the Super Nintendo.
Yes!
Going around my cousins who had that and playing Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario World, it was my earliest exposure to Nintendo, and I didn't even really know what it was. So I was like, stinky plumber man, go away, I want to go Donkey Kong Country. And so, yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite systems to play to this day because of that.
Now, well, what is your guys' favorite consoles? Can I see raise your hands and I'll choose and pick? Here we go, you in the middle.
It's got to be the PlayStation 1 for sure. All the RPGs available then. That's when I started to get right into it. So, Guardians, Crusade, Breath of Fire 3, Final Fantasy 7, all of that stuff.
Nice.
So Final Fantasy 7.
Anybody else that wants to share? You at the back. Yes, you.
Also SNES, because it has the Game Boy attachment as well.
Oh, yes.
Play affordable. Let's go.
Anybody else? Here you go, you.
I think it would have to be the GameCube.
Yeah.
After playing Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine with those sensitive controls at the back, those were just the best.
Smash Melee as well.
Next question is, how old were you when you first played a video game? I would have been 3, and my first video game was Simpsons Hit and Run. And I was evil. I was pure evil. I was evil, I was mean to everybody. I didn't do the missions, I would just kick people, run people over, do silly things. But you know, it's a cool memory for me, so you know.
Baby's first GTA.
Baby's first GTA, exactly. And that was given to me from my uncle, and my mum did not realise all the damage that it did. But here we are.
Playing as a kid, you see the numbers go up, and that makes you very happy.
Yeah, exactly. All pretty fun colours. You go, ooh! That's still me now a lot. Let's go, ooh!
Again, going back to that core memory is that probably 3 or 4 back in the holiday program, being around the N64 playing Smash, making turns.
Yeah, I probably would have been like 3. Whether or not the controller was plugged in is another story. Now that I think back, I was strangely good at those games. I think maybe my dad might have been playing them.
Oh god, I would have been, I think I got my PS1 for Christmas when I was 6. And it come with 5 games. Crash Bandicoot 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro.
Oh, yes.
Very good game. I can't remember the others, but they're, Hot Wheels Extreme Racing. Yeah. There was one other one, and I remember specifically that I got Championship Bass Fishing to play. Yeah, not a good game.
I think growing up, everyone either had some sort of fishing game or some sort of like normal racing game. There was just always one of them in your collection, or someone had it. It was always just there.
Your dad's racing game.
Yeah, sort of.
I had Crazy Frog Racing.
Yeah, that was a thing. In Gran Turismo.
Did you have the sequel to Crazy Frog Racing?
There's a sequel.
and like a GBA port.
Oh, that was the
I love it. Like, there's so many games I want to go off and play now that I haven't heard about a bunch of like sequels.
Crazy Frog Racing.
I mean, I'm really interested. I mean, if we're defining video games, does playing pinball on your Microsoft Windows computer count?
Yes.
I mean, that was probably the biggest interest because you just click it. And just like solitaire, mahjong. If we're being technical.
Did anyone actually beat Minesweeper?
No.
Yes. I don't even. Oh, let's see people. There's a field and you got to sweep the whole lines.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It not blow up.
Did anyone else ever also, on the PC topic, I certainly had a lot of early memories playing like Flash games on the Disney Channel website.
Oh yeah.
Does any
Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Any girls here remember everythinggirl.com?
Yeah.
Girls were gay.
Had like it was like all like Barbie, My Scene, like the My Scene dress
All the
up
first
games.
ones.
I don't remember that.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeti Sports.
Okay, we are moving on to the next question because you know we've got 16 minutes left. Okay,
We're gonna get going
So we're
on
gonna
and
keep
on
going,
and on and on.
If you miss, if you miss the 90s to 2000s era. If you miss, sorry, I'm like, yeah.
What you missed out?
If you miss, why do you miss the 90s, 2000s era? If miss, why miss? I miss it because I just feel like, I don't know, like everything was just different back then. And I think you can say that about every era. But for me personally, growing up in that time, everything was just so vibrant and colorful. Now I feel like we're going into like a minimalistic world society. I love color. I love everything to do with color. I'm not a big fan of minimalism or black and white or whatever. You know, if you're into it, that's totally chill. But I just miss the color. I miss the fun that I had in the 2000s, you know, growing up in that time.
All the clear, colourful plastic things.
Yeah, exactly. All the clear,
you want to
colourful
eat it to
plastic.
look like it would be candy, hence rock candy.
All the PlayStation 2 controllers are transparent and N64 controllers are transparent, colourful. I miss the colour. Now I feel like everything's just like drained out of colour.
Cringe culture wasn't real.
Yeah,
everything was
cringe
real.
culture was real. We got Jack games in the 2000s. We got Aspire to Dragonfly.
Less on actual specific games, but I remember how games would actually come out completed. And
although you say that, but we keep mentioning Spyro and the Dragonfly, which is still come out completed.
Absolutely not. We should have like a panel where we just like discuss like what happened to Spyro and the Dragonfly.
Yeah, it's a very good point on like completed games. And if there was like a edition thing, it'd be like a re-release, like, you know, Pokemon Platinum, like they'd do like the here's the extra little bit of stuff, but it would, you just have so much more to do and spend hours on.
And I forget who said it, but it was a good game. No, a finished game lasts forever, and an incomplete game will take forever to finish.
Maybe.
That's very man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I have to answer the question. Yeah. Wait. Oh, okay. If we've gone on to the next slide is also, my little brain is confused. So, yeah, no, I just agreed so much with the thing about there was just so much colour and everything was just so full of personality, and it still is, but it's, you know, it's just a very specific feeling, and I miss that feeling. I'm sure a lot of us do.
Yeah, kind of like in the similar vein as like things weren't taken as seriously. It was still about fun. It's something that come out and was like, oh, that game is terrible, you shouldn't like it. It was just, you enjoyed it, whether for good or for bad, if it was too cheesy. Like we all like, I mean not everyone, but Metal Gear. Like it's so serious, but you go back and you're like, this is so silly, like what? Like Otacon, his whole name was based on being an otaku convention, but it's still just like that, it's like that fun, like the serious, but it's not, that's cringy, that you so prevalent now.
Next question, and I'll also be asking the audience this. Who's your favorite video game character? And I should have put and why, but you know, I didn't. My favorite video game character, oh God, I love Jack. And you want to know why? I love Jack so much. You can all laugh at me, but I love Jack so much. He's just like, he's a good looking boy, you know, he's cool, he's cool. I don't know, there's just something about Jack and Daxter together. It's just like, have you ever really seen that in another game? Like, have you ever seen that like duo compatibility? No, you haven't, exactly, shake your head at me. Like, I've just never seen that. Like, you've got this tall bloke, he doesn't speak, and then you've got this little orange rat on your shoulder that just does all the talking, you know what I mean? And I can relate to that, you know, like I do all the talking and people just sit and watch me, and it's like, what are you going on
You got a
about?
little orange rat on your shoulder that does the talking, you're like,
That's my dog.
Can I compare Paimon to Daxter?
No, Genshin Impact at this time. But yeah, that's, and you know, I looked up to him as a kid, and I thought he was good looking. That was my first game crush, you know? You gotta get the gist with it. Okay.
Oh, for me, I've always loved Yuna from Final Fantasy X.
yes.
Yeah. Also, have always been a massive fan of Aqua from Kingdom Hearts, but I guess that's post Y2K. I still love her. Pretty much any character from Kingdom. No, sorry, tossing all of that out. Axel from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, no one compares to.
Step aside,
Step
Axel.
aside, everyone. Yeah, got it memorized. I love Axel.
I think for me, it would have to be someone from the Crash Bandicoot franchise, because that series just has so many crazy and colourful characters.
We were to pick one.
One? Oh, that's hard.
Overall. You had to kill all the rest of them in one day.
It'd have to be Engine, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like, just such a cool design, such a crazy little guy. Short and wide like me. I don't know, I just saw myself in him, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if we're going to go on the theme of crushes, Blaze, the cat.
Yes.
I don't know, she was just, I was like, this is cool, she's funky. I mean, like, obviously I have a soft spot for Kirby. If it's not obvious, I relate a lot. He's just pink, he's round, he likes sweets, he don't do much. Well, he does a lot, but like he's very like understated in a sense.
Doing the least while looking the most.
He's a little baby, but also he's a god killer. And you don't mess with him. But he's also a little baby.
We won't mess with you, Raven.
I mean, you don't know what I can do and can't do, so.
Yeah, I'll take Kirby as my favourite character. Straight from Smash, and he's still my Smash main from all the way from the original all the way to the current one.
Similarly to Marks from Kirby. Oh, he's so sadistic. No one knows Marks apparently.
Okay, can I get a raise of hands to, tell me what your favorite game character is? The one with the black mask. You, yes, you. Yes, oh my gosh! It's so cute! You at the front.
Earthworm Jim.
Yes! You in the glasses.
So Daniel Fortescue from Medieval?
Yeah!
Alright, one more. The man in the green shirt. Yes!
Which one? Yeah. I think it's more like symbolization. We learned about so many other lesser known characters from like these collection fighting games. Like I think I wouldn't know about Pit without Smash Brothers. And like with so many of the characters, I learned about Sir Daniel from there was PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. And I learned about so many other wider roster of these characters from those games. It's such a great intro to learn about them.
Next question is, if you could go back to any year, what year would it be? I'd go back to 2002 when I was born, but I would like to be my age now. I'm 20 in November, so I'd just like to see what 2002 was like. What was it like when I was born? When I entered the world, a lot of interesting things happened in 2002. I'm not going to say because I'm just going to do everyone's head in, but I was born on 9th of November. I share a birthday with Jack 3. Isn't that amazing?
Explains a lot.
Explains a lot. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just 2002. I want to see what life was like when I was born. I guess you get to have a conscious. I get to experience it. So let's go with you.
It's technically after Y2K, but I created 2008, and I think Super Smash Bros. Brawl just came out.
Yeah.
And we had Fallout 3, and that also brought me back into all the older Fallout games once I got a bit older as well.
Probably 2007, 2006. Just to with more of the knowledge of how special these games are, and I still have all of my old games. I still treat them with respect, but it's just that to be so much more aware of it and be fully immersed in it again. You can't get a lot of things now, especially all of the really fun accessories and peripherals. I'd love to go back and be like, no, I do want the Tony Hawk plug-in, so I have this big dumb skateboard. But you don't get them anymore, and just be like, no, I do actually want this, because it's so hard to find now.
Yeah. I love me some awful garbage peripherals.
Donkey Kong bungers.
No, that's not awful. It's good.
Well, I mean peripheral.
Yeah. If I was to go back, it would probably have to be, I guess, very late 90s, early 2000s, because even though, born in 96, you're a 90s kid, but you sort of grow up, post that era. So good to sort of see that as PlayStation 2 is entering the market, Dreamcast is exiting the market, I guess. Just to sort of see how that would sort of shape up, and along with just technology in general throughout the world, that's when things really just sort of took off. I'd like to see that.
For me, 2001 specifically, so I can go and get an Xbox and play Halo. I'm now definitely a Halo person, even though I only played it for the first time a year ago. I didn't even know. All I knew about Halo was Master Chief. That's all I knew. And it's what does he do? I don't know. What is he fighting? I don't know, but he's Master Chief. And now I know a lot about Halo. But I wish I could have experienced it back in 2001.
We've got 5 minutes left, so we're going to be doing What's That Sound? And if you know it, let me hear it.
Speed round.
Okay.
please tell me what that is.
Jack2!
What's the sound?
Oh, no.
That's what it is.
Next one. Y'all know. Okay, you at the back.
We need to pick up the precursor rule.
That's so correct. Thank you. That's from Jack too.
We each picked 3, each in their order of, so Cass is a first.
Well, I put Jack and Daxter when I was like writing like the description of this. I'm like, what am I gonna put? Like, I want to talk to like Jack fans. You know what I mean? Like, so I put it in. So after this is Jack.
You're not so hidden agenda. You're not so hidden agenda.
No need to guess what that one is.
Next one.
These are my picks.
The pass.
That's my second pick.
Sorry.
Yeah, so the first one was the Kingdom Hearts 2 item get sound. Correctly guessed by the Sora cosplayer in the front row. The second one.
Let's just keep that.
Does anyone know what that is?
Spyro 2.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, Colossus.
Yes, that's the one, yeah.
It's the monk chanting.
Oh,
Alright, number 3.
Impressive. Wait.
Yeah, wait 3 already know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Ratchet and Clank.
Correct.
Oh
yeah, it's a mix of them, yeah.
DJ.
It was surprisingly hard to find a version without the voice in it. Doing what? Oh, Jesus Christ! Be strong. You're underestimating Germans.
Yeah, we clearly did not scramble these because.
Look off, Kirby.
Not quite. It's also Kirby.
Yeah, phone call.
Yeah, very cool. And it's on. Up next. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes right.
And we all collectively sigh.
And one more. It's a short one. Is that it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Did anyone get that sound? Is it a Pokemon? Yeah. Whipper!
Nice.
The lag.
The lag. Okay.
That little boy.
We've got like 30 seconds left, so with that, if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to speak to us outside. If you want to catch up with any of us, just ask us any questions about literally